Edo State matter. Well, Olu Martins joins us now. He's a member of the civil society in Edo State. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to be on this platform again.
Yeah, and talking about this drama as it unfolds in Edo, lots of people thought that perhaps we'll get our lawmakers to conduct themselves decently, but this clearly shows that it's going to be a long time coming. But give us a background. What really is going on there?
Well, Edo State has become, unfortunately, it's not in isolation. I watched you guys yesterday, where I think that Suleiman said that, show me that House of Assembly that is void of executive influence, and I'll tell you that we're not in Nigeria. And then I think you also said, if only House of Assembly members, honorable members, can summon the same gusto and energy in bills and activities that prosper the people, if they can summon the same energy as they do in crisis of personal interest, I'm sure that Nigeria would be better. But having said that, what we have in Edo State is a theater of cacophony, discordant tunes, where otherwise honorable members have become gladiators like we watch in Spartacus. And you must also understand that this is not the first time it is happening. About 3 years ago, the House changed its leadership, albeit violently. At that time, the seat was occupied by Garba, who was Speaker of the House of Assembly, just before the court upturned the judgment or upturned the result of INEC and gave the elections to Governor Adams Oshiomhole. The leadership at that time was firmly under the control of PDP. And then there was just the same thing, in which, just that in this case now, it was against the leadership of PDP. In this particular case, now there appears to be an attempt against the leadership of APC. And it's a warning. It's a warning because I have told people that I have never seen anywhere where somebody imprisoned a gun. What I see is that people imprison somebody who used the gun. What that simply means is that nobody has a monopoly of violence. Secondly, too, I think, was it Chamberlain that said yesterday, too, that we need to be tolerant of opposition. People, mainstream, the government in power needs to be more tolerant of opposition. This is not the first time we are seeing decampings in the House of Assembly. This is not the first time we are seeing decampings outside of either APC to PDP or PDP to APC. 2 months ago, a member of this same House of Assembly, Victor Edoro, decamped from the APC, from the PDP to the APC, and the governor himself received him in the young man's local Irua constituency. Another councillor decamped in Ogbona, northeast of Edo State, and the governor was there to receive the councillor. 2 years ago, there was a gale of decamping. You recall that Senator Ozamere moved from the PDP whilst he was a senator. He moved into the then ACN, then APC. He's moved back to PDP. And there wasn't a lot that happened at that time. What does it look like if people decamp to you? It's okay. If people decamp away from you, it's not okay.
Was this about decamping or?
No, there's a build-up. There's a build-up to what is happening today. It's what we see seemingly is a crescendo of illegalities and political intrigues. You will recall that I had come here where I had spoken in very clear terms as to how the local government elections were conducted. And I have said that if you don't follow process and procedures, it's called democracy and the rule of law, not democracy and the whims and caprices of an individual or a group of individuals. It's democracy and the rule of law. And the only alternative to the rule of law is an invitation to anarchy. It's a tried principle all over the world. And we had mentioned before that the way governance, especially as it has to do with leadership, transpires in Edo State is less than desirable. So when all of this played we saw there was we could trace it. I said, look, we see this thing coming all over the streets of Edo State. There were billboards adorned beautifully. No more godfatherism. Say no to godfatherism. I said, yeah, it appears like we are nearing a utopia, even if we do not get there eventually. But it appears like we have decimated, in a manner of speaking, a godfather, only to resurrect another father, another godfather, or a godfather general, who, in which case now, he wants to control all the activities of the party, all of the activities, of the state. We have seen Edo State so seemingly run as a one-party state. We have seen a docile House of Assembly. And like they say, people will get dissatisfied until the point where they are dissatisfied with being dissatisfied, and they think that they can push their lot somewhere else. Do not also forget that this government has 2 years to go. It is rare to see people decamp en masse from a government that has 2 years to go. So for people to say, look, this government, we want to decamp from it and go to where we can, so to speak, typical of politicians, have our bread buttered. And that is, a problem. I find an issue with it. But I'm also happy that what is happening. Because we need a vibrant parliament for it to serve as checks and balances for an executive all over the world.
What issue do you find in all of that action? Because some would say that is the beauty of democracy. You can move here, move there, if your ideology or what you feel that the party stands for is not what it practices.
Well, what parties stand for in Nigeria is a discussion for another day. Because you can tell that the fluidity with which people can move from party A to party B very clearly shows that there is just one party in Nigeria. It is the party of the oppressive ruling class. Their modus operandi, cum vivendi, is essentially the same. So what we have is a change in nomenclature. The moment they assume power, what happens in APC or PHC or MTN or whatever the case may be isn't different from what happens in another party. It's just a change of nomenclature. When local government elections are conducted, it is a clean sweep, whether it is in APC or in PDP. So I don't think it's about ideology. I think it's about personal gain. I think it's about aggrandizement. I think it's about economic profiteering. I think it's about an attempt to add Nigeria as an annexure of a private estate, of a group of people. I don't think it's about you and I. I think it's about the enriching of individuals. And it's unfortunate that it is taking place in Edo State. We expected something different because the background of the comrade governor, that's why we call him comrade governor. He spent over 30 years in as a labor leader. We thought that, yes, it was going to be a more inclusive government where everybody would be. It doesn't look like that.